Shalom, shalom, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahwashai, Bahasham, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstone who rule well, pushing this 100% truth of the gospel, waking up and sealing the elect of the nation of Israel through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahwashai. And salutation to your sincere Akim that are pushing this gospel in all righteousness and sincerity, risking your lives and your freedom to do so. Alright, so I'll start off with the book of Proverbs 22, verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth evil. So okay, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Alright, so what I'm going to do, and I shall use the blue letter to get this, but I thought I was going to get some apocryphal scriptures, just in case the spirit led me to bring out some scriptures in the apocrypha. But anyway, let me correct that right now. Okay, going to the, and I'm going to what I'm trying to do is I'm going to get the word for prudence before we go into this lesson. Proverbs 22 verse 3. So let's see what the bullet for prudence is. Arawam. No, it's not. That's not the R. Alright, so this is the word for prudent, and in the Hebrew that is um it doesn't look like the R. Okay. No, wait, that is I Rawam. Okay, that is the I. The Ayan. I Rawam. I Rawam. I Rawam. Alright, so the Hebrew word for prudent is Irawam, Irawam, Irawam. And it reads subtle, shrewd, crafty, sly, sensible. Crafty, shrewd, sensible, and prudent. Alright, so let me get the that's a good letter. Dictionary definition for the word prudent. And it reads Segish, the word, and this is the definition of for the word prudence. Sagacious in adapting means to end, circumspect in action or in determining any line of conduct, practically wise, judicious, and shrewd. Right? So what the word circumspect mean? It means to look around. Okay, circle meaning being circle, and spec meaning to spectate or to watch, so to look around. And let me get the word for the signatures as well. Having or showing keen discernment, sound judgment, and far sightedness. Alright, this is speaking of this word prudence. And what this is the men of Yahweh Bashmi Yahweh, the men are the most high are chosen, they are given the spirit of wisdom and make them prudent. They have foreseen the evil that is coming in the future, and they have hidden themselves from it. Okay, and the evil that I'm speaking of, all right, let me open up the YouTube that you'll see to my watch later. It's like in my history. The evil that I'm speaking of right now is the mark. Yes, like that would be the mark scene. All right, because and this was a week ago, I believe. In Nashville, Tennessee. Okay, when this video came out about what the mark, what taking the vaccine does to people. First of all, that Bell's palsy. Okay, half of your face is paralyzed. Right, and I warn you people concerning these things. This is just you receiving the rewards for your wickedness. Okay, this is just judgment falling upon, as the teacher says, judgment come upon the house of the Most High first. And this is what you are seeing at these times. Okay, so this is the first one, and you should have another video, and this video has already gone around this video has already gone around. Almost everybody has seen the video about the one that suffered from this Bell palsy. I believe it was a few days after taking the vaccine. There's another video of somebody who is of another jake that his feet swole up, okay, because he took the vaccine. And then you have this recent news update. Let me go to that, of a man dying just hours after taking this vaccine. Okay, and it reads, a 75-year-old man from Beit Shean Cheyenne died Monday morning from cardiac arrest about 2 hours after receiving the Pfizer COVID 19 vaccine. Right, the man received the vaccine at 8:30 in the morning and waited for the customary time at the health clinic before he was released to his home feeling well. Sometime later, the man lost consciousness and was later confirmed dead from a heart failure. That is basically the story. 2 hours after taking the vaccine, he dies from a heart attack. And of course, you here have and of course you have the usual is pulling out his what's what I'm looking for, damage control, right? So this is it right here, and I'm skipping the paragraph, and it reads, the Director General of the Ministry of Health, Professor Hezi Levy, has appointed a case investigation committee headed by the head of the Safety and Quality Division in the Ministry of Health. We share in the family's grief, the ministry said, adding that initial examination does not show a link between the unfortunate incident and the vaccination. And of course, you see, that's just in fact it's all damage control. Now, I'm not saying that okay that he died because of the COVID vaccine or anything like that. It could still be possible that he's telling the truth in this case, but press X to doubt. I really doubt it. All right, so all you can see going on right now is that he's getting really sloppy with it. Okay, you had the time like during 9/11. Okay, during 9/11, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, Esau wouldn't have been exposed this quickly. Okay, because what you see is that even before the vaccine rollout, now as the vaccine is rolling out, you're seeing different people suffering from all kinds of complications because of taking it. You're seeing multiple reasons upon reasons upon reasons not to take it. You're seeing the distrust for this vaccine being increased, continuously and continuously. Everybody knows, okay, that they're not supposed to take this vaccine. Whether they want, whether everybody knows that they're not supposed to take this vaccine. It's already out there. It's already been revealed that this is not medicine, alright. That this is not a trustworthy thing to put within your body or to jab yourself with. But what you have is people are still going to take it anyway, either because they are forced to, in order to live their life as normal as possible. Okay, they are forced to in order to, because they believe that they would go back to, right, the normal right, the normal that the way the world was before, pre this infection, pre the C-19. But we've already told you, okay, we constantly tell you there is no going back to normal. Even he has admitted it himself that there is no going back to normal. And even your boy Billy G, right? The one that blessed you with this infection, that which then and I basically put all these lockdowns and closed down the whole planet for because just to further push his just wicked agenda. He has already told you that there ain't no going back to normal. Okay, and this and this a lot of scriptures come into mind. The normal precepts. You're all forgers of lies, physicians of no value. I believe that is book of Psalms, mm, book of Job 13 verse 4. All these precepts come to mind, about Esau's wickedness, about Esau being a liar, and Esau being like a liar, and Esau being deceitful. Okay, Psalms 58 verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. All right. The book of Matthew, I believe. Exactly, book of yeah, I read the book of Matthew. I can't really. Let me just get the blue letters. I can't remember the exact precepts. I just have to get it. They say that you have your father, the devil, going into Esau. All right, the false accuser, the devil. Okay, John 8 verse 44. Right, going into the Yahushua was accusing the Pharisees. You have your father, the devil, and the and it says to this book of John 8 verse 44, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth. But because there is no truth in him, when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, because for he is a liar and the father of it. Alright, so now you should not be surprised. Okay, there is no cause for surprise that you are seeing all these things happen. Okay, you are seeing people taking the vaccine and getting diseases, people taking the vaccine and dropping dead. Right, even Pfizer has been quoted. I believe that was on their Twitter page as saying that it should not shock anybody when people take the vaccine and die, and they just magically fall dead. Okay, and now let me get this next video because you have been warned of this. Okay, everybody listen up. And okay, sorry about that advert, but all I just want to say that I am sure by now that you have all heard about, that the so-called conspiracy theory, which involving Bill Gates, in which is quoted as saying that he can use the vaccines, okay, to wipe out the world by at least what he said. I can That's what, like, he can take out what 6 point something billion people, which is the vast majority of the earth. Okay, so this is the exact video right now. Innovating to zero, and it's a TED talk that was from 10 years ago. Right, so this video has been out here for 10 years. Okay, where Bill Gates was speaking about these things, and now you wonder why people are so against the Marxi. You wonder why people are so suspicious of this devil when he's admitted as wanting to basically depopulate the world by 95%. Then you look into things like the Judah Guidestones, look into things like the New World Order or the Great Reset, and you see that he has a plan to wipe out the whole earth, which is why the book of Matthew 24, I believe that the 12th or the 14th chapter, where it talks about how, except those days be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days were shortened. Because he is 100% ready and willing to completely wipe out this earth in order to rule it, okay? And that reminds me of a quote from Game of Thrones, where it says that he will watch the world, that he's willing to watch the world burn if he can be king of the ashes. All right, so let me just that's the advert.
One of these numbers is going to.
And I have to see this as well. All right, going into YouTube's Fair Use Act. Okay, I do not own the rights for this video. This video is being used or is being referenced for educational purposes only. Okay, let me play the video.
Have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. But there we see an increase. Great job on. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we.
Now you hear him clearly saying that if he does a great job at healthcare, at taking, at administering these vaccines, now you would think that, that would be for the sake of increasing the population by decreasing the mortality rate, in making it increasing the birth rate, making people healthier and all that. But then listen to what he says after all that.
Could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%. But there we see an increase of about 1.3.
So you hear that. So there you've heard it, directly from the horse's mouth, that he is looking to. And let me go to this. Let me go to this preset, sir. Let me go to this preset, because there's another preset I wanted to get concerning this whole matter. As the teacher says, because Esau had not hated blood, okay? Because this is what he's doing. He's shedding. Not Esau. Let me just use blood shall pursue thee. Okay, because what is what Esau is doing? He's shedding the blood of all the people on this earth, man. He's willing to shed it just in order to control the world, for the sake of his own new world agenda, for the sake of his own world. Okay, so this is the book of Ezekiel 35 verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Okay, because now if Esau, if Bill Gates is talking about, depopulating the world by 10-15%, which of course I made an error when I was talking about that. I said that he was planning to take out the majority of the earth, but he said it right there, 10-15%. So that was my bad, Salakia for that. But anyway, Right, if Bill Gates is planning to take out 10 to 15% of the current population of the earth through vaccines, through healthcare, and other methods, okay, then you can be 100% certain that you Israelites will be in the majority. Okay, will be 99.999% of that 10 to 15% because, and I'm reading it right here for you, Ezekiel 35 verse 5. Right, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. And this is speaking of jumping up to Ezekiel 35 verse 1. And it reads, moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. In other words, Edom, Esau, okay, which is exactly the race of people, okay, the nation that Bill Gates and the elites of this world, he's he's the people that he's taking his orders from belong to Esau, Edom, and this is their plans for you, okay, plans for destruction. But you have so many of our people still trusting in this devil, in these devils. I have so many of our people pushing for us to take this vaccine, and you see the result of it. You see the end of it. Okay, and the scriptures in the book of and that reminds me, the scriptures in the book of Second Peter tells you that judgment shall begin in the house of God, and if it begin at us, what shall the end be for the nations? Basically saying, if you being in this truth take that vaccine, man, I don't need to tell you what the kind of judgment that will be for you for taking that. The most I could just kill you on the spot, okay? He could put you to death on the spot, or he could give you all kinds of, horrible and painful complications before you finally decide to take you out. So one more reason not to take the vaccine, because you never know how the most I how the most I could take you out. How the most I could judge you for taking that. All right, if you didn't have enough reasons to take it, not to take it already. So the book of Ezekiel 35 verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh of power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Alright, and from verse 7, thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth. So you've seen these devil's plans, okay? They are planning to use their tool, their main weapon, which is the sword, which is their deceit, which is their lies, to cause all kinds of death and destruction on the earth, to depopulate the world, okay? To and especially to kill you Israelites, because you are the targets. Okay, I've done videos concerning this. You are the ones that Esau is targeting with this marks. You are the ones that Esau is targeting with this with this. Okay, you see. Okay, you saw the nurse you saw the nurse that was obviously a joke. Okay, you see all these things that are happening. You see our people being they're being basically forced or coerced to take this vaccine. Okay, you see the people telling you see how the I you see how people are urging the role models of our people, all these people that are in high positions, start taking this vaccine in order to encourage you Israelites to take it as well. Simply for and it is all being done for your hurt. Okay, it's all being done for your destruction. Yeah, I think I'm just going to end it. I just want to bring out a little something on this whole situation, okay? So I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yawashai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash, Wa Abad Babal. And to read it, I hope you Akim and you Akwath were edified. Shalom.